And here we are, Friday morning. Oh yeah, still cold one. But yeah, apparently next week we are expecting, quite warm weather. Plus 10 at least during the day. Chucky, but as you can see, still ice on the ground. It's still cold enough during the night that the water freezes. And yeah, treats. So what's new? Okay, the doctors on strike, on Wednesday they started collecting their refusals to work overtime, because I think last year or some time ago, our constitutional court ruled that working overtime is, against the law. More than 48 hours, so 8 hours of overtime per week is allowed, more is not allowed. And doctors were working, of course, more than 8 hours with their consent, of course, because they got paid for that. But yeah, now they started, put these refusals, or they started pulling back their agreement. Okay, here we are. I had to restart. I don't know if I had pushed the button or what, but yes, the doctors had started, calling back, refusing to work. Yeah, refusing to work overtime. Pridna, yeah. In some hospitals, only a couple of guys, or public, let's say, healthcare centers, only a couple of doctors did that. In some, the numbers are quite large, even half of them, but they are still collecting data, how much per each of the institutions will, do this. In some cases they have pulled their agreement with immediate effect, but majorities gave basically, a 30-day notice. So, basically, like, I assume this is, negotiation strategy of theirs. If you have 1 month to come to agreement with us, or then the healthcare system will basically fall apart. Because you have to know, for example, the emergency medical system in Slovenia, so all the emergency rooms, departments across all the Slovenia, according to the rules, almost 400, just below 400 doctors should be employed in these facilities, let's say, departments and ER rooms, ER centers, and so forth. Currently, only 100 doctors are permanently employed in these facilities, and they have also 70 part-time workers there, part-time doctors working there. So, more than half of doctors are missing. That's why, people have so much overtime, because they're working for the missing people. And one of the local hospitals in Novo Mesto, about almost half of the doctors said that they will, not work overtime. And the director of the hospital decided, well, she basically did an Uno card on them, a reverse Uno card, She has pulled, so if you want to work overtime in other or in other institution besides your own, your parent institutions where you are primarily employed, and if you want to work in other institutions, you have to have a consent from the leadership of your institution. So she has pulled all the agreements for the doctors that they can also work basically in other places. So basically the philosophy behind is, if you don't want to work overtime with us, you will not work anywhere else. And of course, the supporters of the government are quite pleased with this. But then the Minister of Health actually pointed out that this will also cause problems, because quite a lot of these public, doctors are working not in one public medical institution, but in several. So now they will not be able to work in other parts of the public medical system. Okay, we have to clean after Lisa. So yeah, we'll be right back. Lizzie! Okay, let's try to give you some light. So today we will have more exact figures on this new method of strike. But yeah, and I also understand, government, why they are not willing to to consent to their demands, because if you consent to one group, then immediately a second group will come and demand, we were quiet so far, but you gave money to them and not to all of us, or us, that particular group. So you will do the same thing for us, more money for us. But on the other hand, during each elections, every party always states they already have a plan in place how to fix everything. And when they are elected, the first thing they say is, the current situation is worse than we thought. We need at least a year or so to study the matter. And then, you have 1 year of negotiations, or perhaps trying to do something, the third year, and the fourth year is already spent. No, I'm just preparing for the next elections. So yeah, okay, we will end on this point.